cabinets here are a material that doesn't contain any formaldehyde. The appliances here are all Energy Star appliances. And the water faucets have flow restrictors to conserve water. We build into the design a recycling center, so you can go paper and plastics and cans and things like that. The paint throughout the entire house is 0 VOCs. The floor is cork, and that's considered a rapidly renewable resource. One of the reasons that the Russians love it, not only its color and its texture, but it's very comfortable on the feet.
It has a nice warm feeling to it, and it's very easy to clean.
Anderson windows, because they have a high performance glass, which is low E, and in the winter time it deflects the sunlight in and helps the room stay warm, and then in the summertime it deflects the light out. And Anderson Window Company, at their manufacturing plant, they're extremely efficient. They don't waste the materials, and they reuse everything. So as far as their performance in manufacturing, and I really like to take a look at not only the product, but where it's made, where they get their materials, how they do it, you know, and is their factory, are they polluting the river that they're near, that kind of thing. So the choices is not just the product, but where it comes from and how it's made and how they do it.
Wow, so this is thoroughly green, just like through and through, in every sort of on every level that you can possibly do it on. You're even looking at the companies that you're using. Are they green?
Yeah, you want to give them the good business. You know, give them the business, and plus they provide the quality that we're after. Something that actually works. The flooring is a farmed material where it's sustainably forested, and when they harvest one, they plant 7 more.
So there are ways of using wood that are sustainable if they're doing proper farming.
Right.
And then what about the treating of the wood? Do they have ways of not having to treat it with the formaldehydes and things like that?
Yes, they do. They use the exterior grade binders, which are low or no VOCs. What we did here was the roof here used to be a product called Homicide, which is made out of paper. It's 2.5 inches thick, and we got this nice pine wood, which is FSI certified, and which means it was sustainably harvested. And we took the old material off and set it to the side because it's very good for insulation, and then instead of throwing it away, we put it on top of that, and it acts as an insulation, an additional insulation. So I was able to, instead of throwing something to the dump, just by thinking about it a little bit, we put it right back up there, and it increased the insulation factor of the house, and then we didn't, you know, put something into the landfill. We recycled it right on the spot. And any extra lumber that we had that we couldn't reuse, we had chipped up, and then we brought back, and I used that as mulch on the exterior.
So you are also thinking green as you're building it. You're not wanting to. You're wanting to add as little waste as you can. So you're reusing as much as you can of the old home. When it
was appropriate, sure.
Yeah, when it can maintain the green standard that you're looking for. Do you have any favorite features about this room?
The openness and the brightness, and a lot of light comes in. That was one of the criteria when we talked to Reggie. This house, before it was remodeled, was very dark paneling. It was like a dungeon in here. And we said we want to have it open. We want to be able to access the outdoors easily and have a lot of light coming through.
I always try to get into the design a little area like where Pete and Kay are, and that is for the purpose of coming in so you can remove your shoes, and because up to 50% of the indoor air pollution comes in on the bottom of people's shoes. And a very inexpensive, thick bristle welcome mat goes a long way. It's a green feature. It keeps that indoor air quality better. Well, the features in this bathroom, low flow restrictions on the water, on the faucets. All of the plumbing fixtures are low flow. And a dual flush toilet, which is less than 1 gallon on one setting and about 1.4 on the other, which adds up to some pretty good savings.
In our old house, my office, I still had too many of the cables running all over the floor. But now when Reggie and I were talking about this design, all of the Cat5 network cables and everything, and all of my routers and firewalls and everything are hidden behind here. Up above Reggie and me right now is the whole house fan, and what it does is when you turn it on, it sucks all of the air out of the attic, all of the hot air, and pulls in the nice cool night air, so you don't have to again use your air conditioning, and you also get a nice fresh breeze flowing through the house. And when Reggie was researching this, one of the problems was with the whole house fans, they were open to the attic. There was no insulation, so you had a big hole, and you would be losing heat or whatever because of the lack of insulation. But Reggie found one that has an insulation panel above the fan, so what happens is when you turn the fan on, that insulation panel opens up, and then the fan goes on, and then when you turn it off, the fan goes off and the insulation panel closes down, so you don't have a big hole in the roof when you have this whole house fan. And we can see that happening right now. The first thing that's going to happen is that insulation panel is going to move out of the way. We hear that now, and once it's cleared, then the fan turns on. And the neat part about that is it's completely insulated when you're not using the fan.
There's only one manufacturer that makes one with the doors.
There we go.
It's a great idea, but when it's not in use, it's wasteful, you know, because it's just like a hole in the ceiling. So I was so glad to see they had finally developed one. That's what I mean about nowadays we're able to find these things that are you never were available before to improve the whole situation.
If people are coming up with these things so fast, I guess there must be a real demand.
Yes, there is. Energy efficiency costs money. You're saving money with that thing.